So today we will discuss the topic called access control list. Access control list is nothing but so whenever if you grant the permission to a table, how you will access the record, which means how the records in that particular table, how it will be visible. So that means if you are admin, you can do anything. You can delete, create, and all the records. But if you are ITL user, only you can update the same thing. For that, how we will configure the same. So if I open our application, which is a work order. So for that work order, what happened? So if I open this one, let me open the table. So here, what I will do is whenever if you create any custom table, what happened is the same table, one record will be one custom role will be created automatically. If you see in the control, so this is the role which was created automatically. And one, now what I am going to do it is I am just going to, so here there is a user called Abel Tutor. So for this user, what I am giving, I am granting the role. So if you know, you can granting the role here. Go to the edit, and basically in the real time there is 99% the ACLs is already defined. Very less times you will get an opportunity to work on the ACLs, but you should know what to do. So what happened? Okay, so I'm just saving. Now this work order table view table access role has been granted to the this one. Now what I will do is I will impersonate as this user. Able tutor, and if I impersonate as a user, so the work order, right, the table, so the work order table is open, and here we can see this all records can be accessible for the user. So if I open this record, here you can see you can able to access and modify and all the stuff, and you can delete the record. But here I just want to modify this user, only create a record enough. Remaining things we don't require, then see what we will do it is. So now I'm just going to control this one. I'm just clicking the end impersonation. So and impersonation, what it will do, it can delete the impersonation. Now what happened, I just want to write a ACL. If the user want to create a record in this one, they need a ITIL also. So for this user profile, who is this user profile? Abel Tutor. What was the role we have? Only this work order role we have. And for this user, we need a. So if you want to user to create a record, user should have ITIL role. So if I want to ITIL role, now what I am going to do it is, if you want to create a ACL, the user must have ITIL role. So for sorry, must have security underscore admin. So security. Okay, if you want to security underscore role, you need to elevate the privileges, the elevate role, and click on it one and here and update, so that what it will happen is, see, if you give this one, this elevate privilege is come, and this elevate privilege is true. If you mark as a true, if whenever you are elevated, this should be the one. I hope it clear what is this elevated privilege is nothing but if you want to use that role, you have to use this one elevate role, and from there we can do the same thing. And now, so now the next step was I'm just going to open our work order table. So this is the work order table. If you want to check the ACL, and also the most important thing, if you want to check the ACL in the system or modify or delete or create a new ACL, the user must have security underscore admin role. And once the user has a security underscore admin, and once he log in, he need to elevate the privileges like this, like just now I show, right, the same thing for it. So that is a basic thing we have to do when you use the same thing. So that is the one thing. Now what we will do it is, now what we will do it is we can do the same thing. Now here, now I will write a create a ACL. So if I want to do the ACL, you can open it from here, or else you can just open the record, and from that we can do it. So I'm just going to the right click, configure, and go to here. You can have a security rules. The security rules you can click here, here. So these are all called as a security rules for the same thing one. So there are different types of ACLs which was created. If I open, and if I by default this one, so I just want to create an ACL. So I'm just going to create. So there are already three one there, so you can pick any one. So I'm just opening create ACL. Open this one, and here it was go to the admin. So admin we have not modified, and this is the one. So if I go to the, this is the one, this is nothing is given. So there's the star ACL we have given. And next one, if I open this one, so I'm sorry, before that, if this, since the table is in the work order space, no, wait, this ACL, okay, these ACLs are in the global scope. So if you want to do, we need to must have the global scope for it. So we need to cross application scope also. We have to verify the things for it. Now this is the one. So if I open this one, see right now, oh my god, okay, this is not the one. So here the ACLs here right now, it was granted to the only the admin user for creating a record, or if you grant the same role. Now what I am going to do it is, I am just going to add the X underscore that work order role, right? Work order user role, this one. Oh my god, no, 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 no. Wait, wait, wait. Sorry, it will show the table name. Sorry, this is the order view. These are all not related to one. So it will show the table name. Oh my god, this is the work order view application. Okay, so I'm just changing the scope. So whenever you are working this one, the scope of this application, we need to cross verify. Now, if I open this one, so here what I'm going to do it is I'm just going to remove this role and adding this one as a ITIL role. Now, what had happened is ITIL role we have given. So this is the one. Now, if I impersonate as Avel tutor, let's see what whether he can create a record or not. Avel tutor, and I'm opening this one. So I'm just opening this work order, right? So here and this work order, if I click on here, there is no new button. So that means we don't have option to create the record here. See, right? But we can update and modify the records for it. So this is the advantage of the create ACL. I hope you guys are clear. So whenever you are creating create ACL, what happened? When you want to create a record, it will be accessible. Or when you're creating a record, this create ACL will be used to what we can say. This create ACL what will do? It will use to check the whether the user has the create user can create what is the role we can control and all other things for the same. I hope it clear or any confusion. Hello, hello, Uday and Kiran. Yeah. Now the next step is in the same thing we can go to the ACLs. So this is the create ACL which is used to. So now what I'm going to do just now we modified. So I'm just going to elevate this one. So I'm just going to the same thing, the security rules. So what is that ACL we modified? So this is the recreate ACL. Now, if I remove this role and if I give that work order role and then it will work for the user. So now, if I log in as able tutor, let's see whether we can delete the create the record or not. See, this new button is there. I hope clear. Any confusion about the ACL? No. Now, the next step is what we have to do. It is wait. I think this has to reload. So now, so we have delivered. Now this is the final clear. Next one, we just want to control the users to read access. That means only the user has to create the record and he cannot view the records. So for that, we can use the read AC. So I'm just, I think the page is reloading. I think we can. Wait for a couple of seconds. Yes, I think it's loaded. Now I'm just going to the work I did view. So so now I'm just going to the read ACL. So for this read ACL, what I'm going to do it is I just want to give that as a, so I'm just giving ITIL. So that means not only for ITIL, you can give any role, but I'm just giving since we are familiar with this ITL, we are just giving. So now again, I'm just going to the impersonate of the user and let's see how it will works there. Now the favorites, oh, sorry, I'm just going to this work order. See, you can create a record. See, you cannot read this one, right? Nothing is showing right for these records because you don't have permission to read the records. That's the issue. See, security concerns with them. Why? Because you don't have so records for it. So now what we will do it is we'll go for a grant another role for it and we'll see how it's work. So this whenever if you're impersonation every time you need to elevate the one. So that's one, and you can reload this one. Now, see, we are given this ATL role and this role and so on. If you give multiple roles, what happened? If your user has any one of, so I will give these two roles here. Earlier, we used to give only one role. If you give any role, what happens? Any one of the role, if the user has, it will be the same thing for it. Now, let's see. So now if I impersonate the user, see table dot none. So this is the table name. Here we can write it. And table dot none. Table dot none is nothing but which will allows the user to read the table. So now if I use this one impersonation, so earlier it will show the records, but it doesn't have the option to read it. That means in the list only it was showing. See the records is showing, and if I open any one record randomly, here the user can read the record. So now the next step is, so the user we need to restrict, he can able to read the record, but he cannot edit the record. I hope it clear, right? So the user can read the record and he cannot edit the record, which means you can read it, and it all should be entire should be the read only purpose. So now for that also we can create an ACL for it. So the ACL is always a high privilege access. In the service now, entire access will be controlled by the ACLs and the roles. So when you are writing an ACL, you should deep understanding of this ACLs for the first. So now the right ACL you can see it. See this one. So for here, so for the right, if you want to modify the record, so the user should have ITL role. Again, I'm just giving. So since the user has the same role, so we can access it. So now what I'm going to do it is, I'm just going to modify it. Now, so if I open this, this is the record earlier. It was we can able to read it. If you reload it, see, you cannot modify the record. You can able to see the record, but you cannot modify the record. This is the right ACL for it. If you want to delete, you can delete the record also. But as these are the security things, we cannot allow the user to delete the record. So I hope we clear, right, the right ACL how we will work, and how this read ACL will work, and how this create ACL will work. Till now, any confusions? Because this ACL is a very very sensitive part in the sun service now. Very sensitive. So if you don't have clarity or complete knowledge on the ACLs, try to avoid to touch the ACLs. If you are clear about the ACL, then only you can touch the ACLs. Now the next step is, I'm just going. So again, I'm just going to the one this ACL. So here we have option to delete the record. So again, we need to do it one. We need to elevate the privileges. See again, see if you want to delete it. So here I'm just giving a different record for it one. So right now it was one. Now see, earlier we have a button to delete the record, but here there is no, right. So that is the advantage of the delete ACL in the ServiceNow system. I hope clear what is a read ACL, what is a write ACL, what is a create ACL, and what is a delete ACL. How this functionality will work here. Anyone has any confusion before we move to the next things in this topic? So now, whenever if you're writing an ACL, what are the best practices or how it will execute? That means if you return something or anything, it has an order to execute it. So which means I will tell you how this ACL's evaluation will execute. So ACL list how access, sorry, how this ACLs will work. The first, what happened if you in this ACLs, for example, we can create a ACL, we can add a condition. For example, see, we can grant a role here, and we can grant a stay condition here, and we can give a other things you can execute. So here, how this will execute. The first is this evaluation, right? This condition must be true, which means what are the condition we have here, this must be true. And the next step here, if you click on advanced, you can write a script here. So what is the script? It also execute the second step. And third one, what was the roles? Role is nothing but here, this is the role. So here, what are the roles you have? It must satisfy at least one of the role should be there for the same thing here. So that is the one thing. And next thing, once the role is also satisfied, and it will check the ACL types. Here, whatever we are seeing, this is the table name, and this is the fields we are not given. If you not given first, it will execute the whether the user has a table level or not. If the table level is nothing but, next it will check whether the user has a particular field access or not. So the evaluation of the ACLs is first. This is the one of the most common asked interview question. How the ACL will execute or execution evaluation or ACL something like they can ask these steps. Now, what we can do it, the ACL, the first step here, the condition has to true it. And if the condition is true, then it will check for any script was written for it, and the return variable has to true it. And if the return is true and fine, and next it will check user has at least one of the script role is has the not. If the role is has an, it will check the table access. Yes, if the table access is fine, then if you it will check, it will execute the any field access. Field is nothing but a particular field thing. So this is the ACL evaluation order, and this is the one of the most common asked interview question. So I hope it clear or any confusion. Hello, can you guys think maybe you guys, hello, can you hear me? So you clear or any you have any confusion? Because although you will be clear, right, this is the very confusing topic. So you have to do the multiple times practice, then only you can get a some practical exposure on it. Very good. So now the next step is these are the till now what we done feed table level access. So now I'm just oh my god, impersonation is there still. I'm just reloading. That's fine. So since I was admin, so now the next step is, so now the next step is what we have to. Next step is what we have to do it is the filler. For example, okay. So this user, we should be able to restrict it to a particular user. That means If the user this table, if you anybody want to read it, we need to create an ACL for it. So now this is the ACLs. Oh, let me reload the page since we need to we have impersonation as done, so it was elevated. No, yes, no. Hmm. Okay, so here the new button. So I'm just going to create a new ACL, restrict that if the user has ITL role, then only he can able to read this field. So this is the operation. Executes, it will executes, create, it will check the create one, and write, we will write the one, and edit. Write is used to modify, and read is used to read it, and edit task relation in the below. If you have any task relation we can do it, and CA the CMDB relation if you have anyone, and save as a template. If you want as a template we can use it, and if you have any list options we can use add to list and list it. And you want to see the reports, you want to display this table as a report, we can use the same thing. And report view, so this report is nothing but if you want to visible this one as a report, it will show this one. And personalized choice, if you want to make any personal choice. So mostly these are not related to anyone. The common thing was executes, create, read, write, delete. So the execute, no execute, create, read, write, and this one. So I'm just going to read ACL and the table. What is the table? So go work order, work order, and the what is the field name? So what is the field we have given? For example, I'm just giving the user. So here as user, I'm just granting the ITIL role. So that means if I add this one, so this is the one we can do for the same thing here. Now, if I am going to impersonate as again this guy, Avel tutor, let's see what it will happen here. So the favorites, if I open this one, see, I can able to see it, and see, is this field visible? The user field? No. Why? Because the user must have that role and he need to ITL role. So now what I am going to do it is I just want to create a one more ACL. This is about the read ACL, which how it will execute in the field level. The read ACL, how it will execute in the field ACL for the same thing. Now, the next step is what we can do it is again go to these ACLs and we need to elevate the privileges. Again, I'm just going to one. So write ACL and what is the table name? See, for this one, I have not given any role and submitting this one. That means anyone can access this role, that many can modify this role, and let's see how it will execute this one. This is a record. Okay, not problem. Now, now if I open this one, see, that field is not. Even if you have modify action, since you don't have edit option, so you don't have read access on that particular field, so this will not visible to you. So now again you have to do it. If you want to, you need to modify it again. So go to the configure and go to the security rules for this one, and for that we can do it. Update. Now, so this is the one. So now what we can do it is for that read ACL, right? What is when we have updated last one? Okay, so this is the read ACL. Let me check whether it is in the field level or not. Okay, so if I am using this one, even 1 minute, what are the ACL audio? So for what we have done for the read ACL, here for this one, right? So now if you want to read anyone, I'm just not giving any role for this. Now if I open this one, I will tutor. So see, you can able to read it, but you cannot able to modify. Why? Because this entire field was not modified the same thing. So if you want to modify it, what we can do it is we just go to the end impersonation again. We'll go to that right ACL. So since we have done, we need to elevate the privileges again. So this one. Now, so because the table is not given, so table dot none we have already given. So what is this one? So if I open this one, so for this right, what we have written, since the user doesn't have this one, so even if he has the complete table access, so so what is this one? And go update. Now, what we can do it is you can go to the impersonation and Avila tutor. So now, if I open this one, see now this is visible and you can able to modified since we are given the complete table access. What if you want to restrict this one? What we can do it is, so again, so here we can use a table dot none we have given, and next what we will use table dot star ACL. So table dot star will be control the all the things. So what we can do it is, I'm just going to write and table. What is the table name? So this is the one. So table dot none will get completely what happens. If earlier what happened, table dot none role we have given, so that it will completely give the field access. That means, so here, so if you give none is a completed table level, and if you give star, what it happened if you don't have any specific things, it will grantly completely on the field for the same thing one. So that means none is a table level and star is a field level. So that's the difference for the same thing. So if I impersonate, okay, this is not required. This is impersonated as a ABL tutor, and we can see the same thing. So which means it will be executed for the same thing here. So this is the one. So that this is the table level ACL. So these are the main things when we compare the ACLs. We work for the same thing here. I hope it clear or any confusion on the ACLs, because this is the very important topic. When so any doubts till now what we have discussed? Okay, thank you so much. And note on the task for today: create an ACL on any table. So which will allows the some ITIL admin users to create a record and delete the records. ITL admin user has the one. And if you want, you can give any condition state is XYZ something else you can give it. And next one, create an LCLs read and write, which will allow the user to modify and view the records for ITL users. And create a one particular field. That field should be modified and by the so one particular user which has the some XYZ role. You can give any one custom, create one custom role, and in that field if you want to modify or read, user must have that role. So this is the task for today. Any questions on the today's task? Okay. Any doubts on the today's topic? Okay. So if no other any doubts with the previous questions, previous topics which you discussed earlier? Okay. So if no other doubts, we can wind up the session. We can meet here tomorrow at 8 a.m. IST. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.